The principle is simple. You have 8 seconds to find the correct answer. Are you ready? Have fun and learn. Let's go!
Who is famous for the philosophical statement, "I think, therefore I am"? Which philosopher taught Alexander the Great? Who wrote The Republic, a work about justice and the ideal state? Who is considered the founder of Taoism? Which philosopher famously proclaimed, "God is dead"?
To reject luxury, Diogenes lived in a giant clay jar instead of a house. He also walked around Athens in broad daylight holding a lantern, claiming he was looking for an honest man but never found one. His whole life was a protest against greed and hypocrisy.
Who developed the theory of the categorical imperative? Which philosopher is associated with utilitarianism, advocating the greatest happiness for the greatest number? Which philosopher argued that humans are born as a tabula rasa, or blank slate? Who is famous for his dialectical method of question and answer, also known as the Socratic method? Who authored the philosophical text "Thus Spoke Zarathustra"?
Socrates never wrote anything down, believing real understanding came through live conversation. He thought writing was too one-sided and couldn't respond to questions. As a result, everything we know about him comes from his students, especially Plato. This makes it hard to tell which ideas were truly Socrates and which were Plato's, a puzzle known as the Socratic problem.
Who is considered the father of existentialism? Which philosopher proposed the concept of the social contract? Who wrote Critique of Pure Reason? Who is known for the allegory of the cave? philosopher promoted the idea of separation of powers in government?
Voltaire loved coffee so much that he reportedly drank up to 50 cups a day, sometimes mixed with chocolate. His doctor warned him it might kill him, but Voltaire insisted it fueled his writing. He even joked that coffee inspired his best thoughts and helped him think like a devil and write like an angel.
Who developed the economic and philosophical theory of Marxism? Who was the ancient philosopher, famous for living in a barrel and rejecting conventional society? Who wrote Being and Time, exploring existential themes of existence? Which philosopher is associated with the quote, "The unexamined life is not worth living"? Which philosopher wrote the influential work Leviathan, advocating absolute sovereign power?
Kierkegaard used humor, irony, and even pseudonyms to explore deep philosophical ideas. In fact, he once published 2 books on the same day, one arguing for living a deeply ethical life, and the other for embracing aesthetic pleasure, just to show how people wrestle with different ways of living. He wanted readers to think for themselves, not just follow one answer.
Which German philosopher is known for the world as will and representation, and influenced Nietzsche and Freud? Who developed the concept of life world, Lebenswelt, in phenomenology? Who wrote the influential book Being and Nothingness, which explores human freedom and consciousness? Which philosopher is best known for his theory of justice as fairness? Which philosopher introduced the concept of deconstruction?
Sartre declined the Nobel Prize, wanting to stay independent. He was pardoned by de Gaulle after being arrested for protesting. Sartre co-founded existentialism and had an open relationship with Simone de Beauvoir. He once hallucinated giant lobsters after taking mescaline. How did you do? Comment what topic you'd like to see next. Keep learning and see you next time on Quizverse.